Hey guys, so today I am going to be doing a yearly wrap-up favorites video. I know I might be talking like really strangely. It's because my lip is swollen. Try to ignore it. I did not get lip injections. Also, at the end of this video, I will be doing a giveaway, so you guys should definitely stay tuned for that if you would like to win something. So let's just get into it. So starting out with my eyebrows, I have been doing pretty much the same brow routine all year, just changing up kind of the technique that I use. One thing that I don't have with me is the e.l.f. brow kit. I was using that probably most of the year. I have no idea where it disappeared to. As usual, I have been using the Maybelline Definer Brow Pencil. I've loved this for such a long time, and I use the one in medium brown, which is actually pretty difficult to find. When I do see it at a store, I buy all of them. And I love it because the tip is just so fine and you can really just basically make your own brow hairs. And then another thing that I've been using for quite a while is the e.l.f. cream eyeliner, and this is in the color Coffee. I will be doing an updated brow routine soon. I don't know if you can see my brows today, but they're quite nice, if I must say myself. I just use that with an angled brush and run that through my brows just to give it, you know, the color and stuff that I want, and I absolutely love it. A little bit goes a long way because it is extremely pigmented and I really like it. And then to set my brows, I like using either the e.l.f. Clear Brow Mascara, which is somewhere back there, so far away. Couldn't possibly get up to get it. I also have been liking the Benefit Gimme Brow. I kind of go back and forth with whether I like this or not, but at the moment I've been really liking it just to set the end part of my brows and also to kind of separate the brow hairs to make it look more natural, if that makes any sense. So I really like this, and this is in the color Medium Deep, and it is supposed to be a brow volumizing fiber gel. So moving on to my skin, I have been pretty much using the same skin products consistently throughout the year. I've tried to save some money this year, so I've just been trying to use up the things that I have. But the foundation combination that I've been loving for probably all of 2014 is the L'Oreal True Match foundation, and this is in the color N7 Classic Tan. The L'Oreal True Match Lumi foundation, and this is in the color N7-8. And it's in Classic Tan. The L'Oreal True Matte can be a little bit too matte for my skin, and then the Lumi can be a little bit too dewy for my skin. So just mixing them together makes the perfect combination of colors, and the finish is amazing, and I just absolutely love this. I wish they came in one bottle, but it doesn't really matter to me because I will forever mix them together for the rest of my life in order to make my favorite foundation combination. I feel like I look like a poet right now. Do you get that vibe? Do you get what I mean? Okay, I'm just gonna be quiet now. So for concealers, I've been using the same concealers for, well, not the same exact ones, that would be really unsanitary. But I've been using the same concealers for quite a while, and these are like my tried and true, and I love these so much. The first one is the Rimmel London Wake Me Up Concealer, and this is in the color Medium. I use this to brighten up my under eye area and highlight any areas of my face because it is of a lighter color, but I really like this for brightening. And then for covering up blemishes or even mixing in with either my face concealer or the under eye concealer, because sometimes the color can be a little bit off, the NYX HD Photogenic Concealer, and this is in the color Tan. I absolutely love this. I love the coverage of it. It is flawless. The reason why I don't use this on my face as often is just because the color is slightly too light for my skin tone. So I like to use a different concealer for my face, and that will forever be the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. I loved this for so long. When I first started out my channel, this was a concealer that I was absolutely obsessed with, and I'm still obsessed with it. It's really amazing, and it's such a underrated product. This is in the color Cafe, and this is perfect for my facial skin tone and covering up blemishes and stuff. I just love it so much, and if you haven't tried out this concealer, I highly suggest it. And then as far as face powders go, I don't want to mention any of the ones that I've used for quite a while because I've already talked about those like a lot. But towards the end of the year, I started using the Laura Mercier Universal Invisible Loose Setting Powder, and I have really been enjoying this. It really takes away the tackiness of my skin when I apply foundation, and I just love it. It's completely translucent. I'm not positive as to whether it gives flashback in photography or not, because sometimes when I take pictures, it does kind of, you know, give that a little bit of a lighter cast. I absolutely love it. I think it's amazing. It's extremely finely milled and it prevents creasing as well. And then for my under eye area, I have been loving throughout the whole year the e.l.f. HD Under Eye Setting Powder, and this is in the shade Sheer. But it's just a really finely milled. It's not completely translucent. It does lean kind of on the lighter side, so I use it under my eyes to brighten. It makes it so you do not get any creasing under your eyes, but then there are tiny little, I don't want to say glitters. You can't even tell that there's any kind of sheen or anything, but you can kind of see it in the actual powder. If I'm going to recommend any product for you to buy, because I know that a lot of people have issues with under eye concealer creasing on them, that was like one of my biggest issues, and this has seriously saved my life. And I have an honorable mention because I only started using this like the end of December or even the beginning of January, but I just wanted to mention it. It is the Bare Minerals Mineral Veil, and I have been really like this. I don't like this all over my face because it makes my face look really cakey and not cute, but under my eyes it's really nice, and I actually used it today. It prevents creasing, and also it just feels so smooth. Like, it doesn't even feel like I have anything under my eyes right now. And then moving on to blushes, highlighters, and bronzers. So for bronzer, the entire year I have been using the CoverGirl Clean Press Powder, and this is in the color Tawny. It's the perfect color for me when it comes to bronzing up my skin and just giving my face a little bit of color, especially since when you put on foundation, it kind of just makes you look very flat. But this is just amazing. I also like this for contouring. Now for contouring, I used to not like this at all, and it was because I was not using it in the correct manner. And this is the Benefit Hoola bronzer, and it's right here. I would say it's a very neutral, leaning more on the cool side toned bronzer. I know a lot of people with paler skin tones like using it as a bronzer, but I like using it as a contour color because it is extremely neutral slash cool toned, and it can look a little bit gray if I use it as a bronzer. So I just use it just under my cheekbones and like on the sides of my nose and right at my temples, just to add a little bit of definition and give my face more shape. So I use the CoverGirl bronzer to add color, and I use the Hoola bronzer to contour and add shape to my face because I got some chubby ass cheeks. So for highlighter, I love highlighter. It's like one of my favoriteest things ever. It's the e.l.f. Golden Bronzer, and I heard that this was similar to a, oh gosh, what's it called? Dior Amber Diamond. I think that's what it was supposed to be similar to. But this is so much less expensive, and I really like it. I'm wearing it today. I actually haven't worn it in a while because of the other highlighter that I've been loving, but I love this so much. Again, it'll last me a really long time, and it just kind of gives like a really nice champagne-ish glow. And then the other highlighter that I started using towards the end of the year isn't actually a highlighter, it's an eyeshadow, and this is the L'Oreal Infallible eyeshadow, and this is in the color Amber Rush. As an eyeshadow, it's absolutely gorgeous. I love this eyeshadow so much. But I decided to go a little bit crazy and try it as a highlighter. It's a really nice rose gold color, and again, I like using it with a stippling brush so it's not as pigmented, and I make sure to tap off the brush so I don't have a big chunk of glitter on my face. Then for blush, the only blush that I could really think that I used more than other ones, because I tend to like rotate my blushes because I want to get like use out of them, but this one is the Coastal Scents Forever Blush, and this is in the color Royal. It's extremely pigmented. Look, like, it's almost scary how pigmented it is, and you have to use an extremely light hand with this. I want to try out a lot more of the Coastal Scents blushes, but this one is really amazing. I like the color that it gives my skin. It kind of makes me look a little bit sunburnt slightly, but like in a flattering way. To finish up the face, I just like the Urban Decay makeup setting spray. This is an all-nighter. I really like the chill as well. Okay, so for eyes, I have quite a few mascaras. So I'm just gonna quickly go through them. The first one is the Maybelline Great Lash Lots of Lashes mascara. This is the one with the cone brush. I just really like this. It's really good for my lashes, and my lashes are naturally pretty long, and this is just really good at it's really good at volumizing, but also lengthening my lashes. I was using this pretty much throughout the entire year just because I didn't want to spend money on buying a new mascara. And then another mascara is the Jordana Besh Lash Extreme Volumizing Mascara. I've talked about this so much. This is by far my favorite mascara. I'm wearing it today. There's really nothing that I can say about it. It's so inexpensive and it's amazing. I tried out the Best Lengths mascara or something like that, the one with the pink lid, but it is not nearly as good as this one. So go to your drugstore and get this because it is the bomb. And then also a mascara that I have is actually a sample, and I got this in my Ipsy Glam bag, and this was the Urban Decay Perversion mascara. I find that this is actually kind of similar to the Jordana Best Lash Extreme mascara, but I actually like the Jordana one better. But I just wanted to mention this because this was a mascara that I really liked, and I'm still using this. Now this eyeliner isn't actually the one that I wanted to mention, but I don't have the one that I wanted to mention. It's actually the e.l.f. eyeliner. This is pretty much the exact same thing. This is the Wet n Wild Mega Liner, but I just really like the wand on these liners. It's a brush tip instead of like a felt tip or anything, and you can just really get into that inner corner and really make like a perfect wing on the outer corner. But this is the Unique mascara. I did a whole review video on this mascara, and it's basically a fiber extensions mascara. Now the process of putting this mascara on is a little bit longer, so if you aren't as focused on your lashes, or if you don't want that to be like a focal point of your look, you might not like this because it is like a longer process, but I think it's worth it. If I want something that will make my lashes look crazy long, like insanely long, this is what I'll be going for. And the thing is that it makes it look long, but it doesn't look fake. So that's something that I really, really like about this, and I highly suggest checking it out if you guys haven't heard of it before. So I don't know if the angles changed or anything, but I had to let my camera cool down a little bit. Whoa, dropping everything now. So to finish up with eyeshadow, the first eyeshadow that I have is from Elizabeth Mott. I got it in an Ipsy Glam bag, and this is in the color Champagne. Really creative. It's just a really pretty champagne color. I really liked using this all over my lid, and I think it's really pretty as a highlight color. I used it under my brow bone today for a highlight, and the other day I used it on my cheekbones as a highlight, and it looked really nice. And then the rest of these are eyeshadow palettes, so I'm just gonna quickly run through them. The first one is the Fall Festival palette from Coastal Scents. I've talked about this so many times in my videos, and I've used it so many times. The fall time is definitely one of my favorite times of year when it comes to makeup, and as far as like the colors and stuff. These eyeshadows are extremely pigmented. They are hot pots, so you can get all these eyeshadows individually. I don't know the names of them off the top of my head, but you can pop them out and see the name. My favorite is this one, which is a really champagne pretty color. This one, which is, I know this one's in Raisin Berry. And then I like this one, which I'm actually wearing today in my crease. And it's a really pretty kind of reddish brown shimmery color. So I really like this palette. And then another palette is the Wet n Wild Comfort Zone palette. And I actually got this in Italy, I think in 2013. My sister got it for me, and I love this so much. The colors are absolutely gorgeous, and you kind of have a side with neutral shades and then a side with more like exciting, crazy looking shades. I love this color right here because it is very similar to either MAC's Blue Brown pigment or MAC's Club eyeshadow. It's really, really pretty, and that's like one of the main reasons why I got this palette. But I love all of the other shadows as well, and they're extremely pigmented. So if you guys find this at the drugstore, I highly suggest picking it up because it is very inexpensive and the eyeshadows are amazing quality. Okay, and then another eyeshadow palette that I have is the Lorac Pro palette. I love this. I use this most of the time, especially for the more basic colors or the more basic looks that I want to do. So I don't know if you can see this here, but I've hit pan completely on the color Taupe. I also love the color gold, light bronze, garnet. I love sable. I've hit pan on that too. And espresso, the black in here is really pretty. So this was the first high-end palette that I've ever gotten. This is the only high-end palette that I have. And I absolutely love it. It was a great investment and I highly recommend it. And then another palette is also from Coastal Scents. I love Coastal Scents if you haven't noticed. And this is the Revealed 2 palette, and it is very similar to the Naked 3 palette from Urban Decay, and I think it's absolutely beautiful. I've heard people say that it's actually better than the one from Urban Decay. I don't actually know because I don't have that one, but I definitely wanted to try this out because I was interested in that palette, but I didn't want to spend that much money, and it is amazing. Again, the colors are extremely pigmented. I've used this in so many makeup tutorials. It's actually kind of ridiculous. And all of them are just really kind of pinky toned and purpley, and I don't know, I just really like it, and I kind of fell in love with that hue of eyeshadow last year, and I was doing it like all the time. And then the last palette that I have is my Coastal Scents 252 Ultimate Palette, and this is just the first tray right here, but there are 3 trays of eyeshadow in this. I use this in probably most of my eyeshadow tutorials because it just has every color you could possibly need in this palette. You can get all of these eyeshadows individually as hot pots, as I told you about with the Fall Festival palette. So if you really like a color in this palette, you can get it individually as, you know, an individual shadow and put it in a palette if you want to. I highly suggest this, especially if you are just starting out with makeup. When I first started my makeup channel, I got a palette from BH Cosmetics, but I didn't like it. I don't know if maybe like the quality has changed, but I felt like it was completely different from the quality of these eyeshadows. I know that they're supposed to be made from the same manufacturer, but quality of the eyeshadows are just on completely different levels. The majority of them, I'd say about 90% of these eyeshadows are quite amazing, and the ones that aren't, you can still deal with them. The last things that I have are lip products. So this is kind of a whole lip look that I was loving last year, and you can probably guess because it is what everybody was loving last year. The whole Kylie Jenner lip blew up last year. So my first combination was the lip liner in Coffee Bean. Real, it's amazing. I love this. I wear this like all the time. Obsessed. I like wearing this on its own, but over top of that, I also like using the NYX lipstick in the color Butter. I don't know if you can see that, but it's a really neutral toned matte kind of grayish lipstick, and over the kind of reddish brown of the Coffee Bean lip liner, it makes it very neutral, and it's kind of an acquired look. I know there's some people who probably wouldn't like it, but I really like it, and when in doubt, I always wear this lip combination. And then for the kind of Kylie Jenner look, I like using the lip liner Coffee Bean, and then I was using the Revlon Color Burst matte balm stain, and this is in the color Sultry. So it's just a really kind of rosy matte color. So I put that over the lip liner, and then over that I would use the NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream in the color Abu Dhabi. So this would just kind of make it a little bit lighter and more nude and take a little bit of the pink out. So I was loving all of these lip combinations, and I'm pretty sure I'll be loving them for the next year as well. So that is it for my favorites of 2014. And now the moment you guys have been waiting for, the giveaway. If you guys stayed this long, you're quite amazing. I will have all of the rules and everything listed in the down bar down below, so definitely check it out because you need to follow the rules in order to win. And this is like one of the first legit giveaways that I've done, and I'm very excited about it. So I'm going to be giving away 2 of my favorite eyeshadow palettes, the Revealed 2 palette from Coastal Scents, and I had this upside down, the 252 Ultimate Eyeshadow palette from Coastal Scents. So you can see on the back all of the colors that are in this palette. Love both these palettes. You just heard me ranting about them, and you've seen how many tutorials that I've used both of these palettes in. So if you guys are interested in winning these palettes, I will have 2 winners. So one will win the revealed palette and one will win this palette. So if you guys would like to be entered to win, then look down below in the down bar and check out the rules and go ahead and enter. And that is pretty much it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys had a great 2014. Let me know any of your favorite products that you found in the last year, and I totally want to check them out. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.